Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. This glistening sun is masking the fact that it has been pissing it down a rain the last couple of hours here in Norwich. Who wants to start placing bets that it's going to piss it down a rain just before I get home? But of course, you didn't come here to hedge a bet against me or for me. Now, this video is going to be a very quick one because it is merely updating everyone with basically what I put in my text post around lunchtime while I was eating my chicken and bacon sandwiches and having my cheese and onion Walker's crisps and what have you. Who said I was eating 50 pounds of chocolate? Shut up. Anyway, I was doing that when I was posting that thing. So basically this is an update to say the starting point for this protest is going to be at Victoria Station. So I hope now everyone is going to be making their plans for the 26th of October. Those that can come, of course. Please do everything you can to be down there. I know I'm going to be doing everything in my power to be down there. I know the week before I've got Dungeons and Dragons, but I should be able to attend the 26th as long as divine intervention doesn't have its way with me. Why do you think I say I don't need sex? Anyway, the point is, make sure you're down there. Do everything you can. I know I'm going to. But the other thing I'll mention, something some people have been mentioning in the comments of my previous video, and that is we already have a Magna Carta, which is why some people are not signing it. And isn't the whole point of the Magna Carta to do what the pledge is basically meant to do? To stand against tyranny, to, metaphorically speaking, take out the trash when they decide to get tyrannical and become a dictatorship. It's something I hadn't even thought of. But then when I take a little bit of time to have a really good think about it, it makes sense, doesn't it? Why are we going out of our way to look at the pledge when we have our own Magna Carta? Now, this is not me trying to throw shade at Richard Inman or Paul Thorpe or Maya Toosey or whoever. Far from it. But it does bring up a very valid contention point. Or was it contestion point? I never could get that word right. Anyway, it basically brings up a point of contest where you ask yourself, do we really need the pledge? Or should we just making it so, should we be making it so that we adhere to the Magna Carta like it was gospel? And I know Richard Inman is very into his Christianity and very into his spiritual beliefs, and I'm not going to hold that against him. Because as I said in my last video, we basically need unity, not division. It's why I also made my point about Nigel Farage needing to stop slagging off Tommy Robinson and his supporters. Because we don't need to be making our lives any harder. I do a good enough job of that shit myself. And so do the left. But at least for me, it's only myself. But the left's lives, the left wing's making our lives a lot harder. But there is one thing that I will mention about reform, and that is, apparently they're funding a private prosecution or investigation. They're actually planning to take out the trash, obviously metaphorically speaking. And by the trash, I mean those three Muller Rices who decided to attack the police in Manchester Airport. The people who basically should be thankful that they still live on this planet and breathe our oxygen, which frankly, they don't deserve. Now, if they really are going for this, it's a very, very ballsy move by Reform. Very ballsy. And it could actually be one of the biggest symbols of standing with the people we will likely ever see in a long, long time. It might not be the biggest, because I suspect that will happen on the 26th of October with Tommy's March. And me, if I end up getting one over here. Anyway, I think Tommy Robinson's thing is going to be the biggest thing of all. But I'm sure the Reform Party won't be that far behind by prosecuting these three subhuman scumbags. And I am, believe you me, I am seriously trying to restrain myself in not swearing to prove a point that my vocabulary goes beyond but you know what I mean. Yes, this man knows more than 3 words. God, I'm the one IQ person. I know 6 words, some of them pronouns, and I can count up to 5. Anyway, the point is, I want to prove a point to people who think I've just got a filthy mouth. But more often than not, I usually revert to type because I feel it gets my point out the strongest. And as people know by now, I'm not going to sugarcoat a mother trucking thing. I am not going to mince my words. I will say it exactly how it is, and I will do my best not to BS you. But I really am curious to see if this prosecution of these 3 Muslims actually goes ahead, because, as I said, it will send a very strong message that reform is not messing around anymore. It will set a very strong precedent for that party, which will say to the vast majority of the Brits around this country, if you want a party that's for the people, vote reform. But of course the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because, say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. Do you think the treacherous, lamestream, shill media are going to even consider putting this prosecution out as mainstream news? Of course they won't, because, as I said, the government under Keir the traitor Starmer, the establishment with its mainstream media and its 2-tier police and judiciary, they're going to do everything they can to push this under the rug. But yeah, the way I look at it, the Reform Party could be onto something. Notice how I don't mention Nigel Farage, because I don't like the guy, not anymore. After all the shenanigans he's pulled, he should be thankful I'm still thinking about him, let alone actually talking about him. But I do hope this prosecution goes ahead with reform, and I hope that we will finally get some true justice dealt to these Islamic scumbags. I really do. The truth is, we need more people talking about this prosecution because, as I said, and I can't stress enough, this affects everyone in the United Kingdom. This affects every single person who is here in this country, paying taxes, and basically wanting this country to get all of its shenanigans straight. But it's pretty obvious we won't get it under Keir the traitor Starmer. So here's to hoping on the 26th of October, there'll be a message so strong that Keir the traitor Starmer will buckle and resign, because he has no place in 10 Downing Street. And if we actually see this prosecution take place, it may restore hope for the British people, and it may show them that there is indeed a light at the end of that tunnel.